Welcome to Innovation Somalia. I am your host, Abdul Ali. I'm coming to you from Columbus, Ohio. I'm really excited. Today I have Idiris Ibrahim. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to do this. Idiris, it's a youngster that who lives here in Columbus, Ohio. He's on his way to become Dentistry 2024. That's a long time.
Long time. That's a lot of work.
But it's a good to have like a vision to work toward it.
So, exactly.
Yeah. So you basically grew up in Columbus.
I came here when I was 2 years old, so
wow.
I was basically born here.
You're a baby.
Exactly, so.
Barely out of the womb, really, if you think about it. When did you guys come to Columbus?
We came 2000.
So oh, okay.
It was the first Somalis, they started moving here like late 99.
Yeah, that's when I came. That's when I came.
First,
yeah.
It was a small community back then, had the mashallah. Over 60,000 now.
My goodness. Is it? Wow.
Yeah,
60,000. We're approaching to be like to match up in Minnesota.
Exactly.
Columbus, it's a small town. Growing up, what do you think about it?
Well, growing up at the beginning, Somali wasn't really influential.
Okay.
So there wasn't that many Somali people here. And that time we're kind of getting used to the environment.
Okay.
So at that time it was bad. Hadda alhamdulillah is popping to be Somali.
There were some times you're like, I'm from Africa instead of from Somalia.
No, exactly. There's times they know us now.
Yeah, because when I first came, and because a lot of people didn't know where Somalia was, so I had to say, I'm from Africa. So if they're interested enough, they'll be like, what part of Africa? So, then I'll be like, East Africa. Then if they know a little bit about it, then it'll be like, what part of it? Then that's what I used to say. Hey, it's from Somalia. It's the corner, Exactly.
The longest
the
coast.
The longest coast. That's exactly. So you basically grew up here, went to middle school, high school, and all that. What's like growing up, like in going to like middle school here? Like, what do you remember the most?
Well, in middle school, alhamdulillah, I was blessed. I went to international.
Okay.
So I was still around Somali people.
Okay.
Up until like high school, I didn't have any like friends that weren't Somali. I was just all Somali. Then I went to a public school, Whetstone. It's a Columbus City school.
Okay.
Then
is that a high school?
It's a high school.
Okay.
Yeah. That's when you get shown the environment of like, public school is scary. I'm like, watch out.
Yeah.
Make sure you have good friends. And before that, I was kind of mostly sheltered.
Okay.
Somalis went to Dentistry and all that.
What was challenging about in high school? Like, was it like a different groups or just the environment's kind of sort of a little bit challenging to work through?
Well, the environment was challenging because the teachers, because it's public school, they have a lot of students,
right? And
everyone that's like they didn't really give them a lot of resources, and it was segregated our school as well.
Gotcha.
So they had something called humanities, which is like for the smart people. They take
humanities.
Humanities, yeah. It's like social study, math, like all these courses put together.
Okay.
So in that class only, like you know what I mean? And the other class so you barely interact with other people. So first time I went in there, I really didn't I wasn't in that class. So all my classes was just with Mado people and Somali.
Okay.
Then second year, I had good grades. My counselor, she said, enrolled to this class. I signed in, then I saw the whole different side of a new school. I'm like,
wow.
My surroundings was completely different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that when you thought about going, hey, maybe next step is to go to college? Or like, when did the college come into play?
College came into play always. Alhamdulillah, my mom was actually a midwife back in Somalia.
Okay.
So she really pressured education. And
MashaAllah.
I'm the youngest of 9 siblings. So alhamdulillah.
You're the youngest one?
Second youngest.
Wow. Yeah. I did not know that.
No, the big family.
I thought it was like 5 or 6, 9.
9 family.
MashaAllah.
And we're all young when we came.
MashaAllah.
So,
MashaAllah.
Now, alhamdulillah, all of them all went to college, so I already knew college was the way, but I didn't know like my capabilities. I used to all right, go to college, community college ad, get a 2-year degree, work with that job.
Right.
Just live there. Then, I started looking around. Then, growing up, I also wanted to be a truck driver because I remember I told you earlier. In middle school, my bus driver was Somali, so I was like, man, this is the coolest guy. He wakes up, takes us to school, goes home, sleeps, relaxes, comes back in the afternoon, take us back. And that's about it. So I wanted to be a truck driver bus driver for a bit. Then I went to high school. Then I was like,
what was the reason you wanted to be a bus driver?
The lifestyle was nice.
Okay.
Because the thing is, I was thinking, okay, the only time everyone has to be in class by 7:30.
Yeah.
A.M. So a.m. So a bus driver will wake up 5. They work from 5 to 7:30. So from 7:30 until 4 until 2:30, when they pick us up, they're not doing nothing. So I'm like, all right, you drive a bus. You just do that. That's it. Yeah. So I thought that was life. Yeah, I thought that was life.
That's interesting. That's interesting because and to me, I feel like youngsters like you, like if you, it's challenging that if you didn't have somebody to look up to in a sense of like within the community or somebody that's doing something different, then it might be like a difficult for you to kind of sort of, hey, when I grow up, I want to be just like that.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't be what you can't see. If you can't see someone that looks like you in a position you want to be at, it's really difficult to get into that position. Yeah.
Now I'm glad you mentioned that, and I think that's what a lot of people need to do in generality. That there are like a lot of people like you, not on your age right now, but like think about when you were like back in 5, 7, 8, 9, right? Exactly. Those are like the ideas. Those are when you start to have like ideas. You start to have like things to look up to. Like hey, maybe when I grow up, I can see myself doing that and things like that. You have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of good videos there. What got you started?
The main reason was actually exposure, just to show other Somali youth like you know, dentistry is the way, not just dentistry education. So I just wanted to kind of make a YouTube channel to show someone that you could also be a dentist. And I talked about everything like my grades, what I struggled with, my GPA, what helped me out, because a lot of people they hide the information. Back then when I wanted to go to like medical or dental, when I asked them, hey, what did you get in your store? What should I do? They're afraid to talk about that experience, even though like I'm looking up to you. So I just wanted to be like all access to inspire and elevate. Yeah. That's the main purpose.
Yeah, because what you're doing is you're documenting like your journey, and I think that in some plays like helps you get where you wanted to go, because it's somewhat like off your chest, like when you're really sharing your day-to-day journey. There was one that I came across that you called your mom. Let's talk about that a little bit. That is like, hey, your son is going to talk about that.
That was an emotional one.
Right.
Before then, a couple months before then, I was doing interviews in California, DC, and places. And my mom and dad always, why are you going there? Columbus, Georgia, no.
Right.
So it was just like they didn't get the viewpoint. Like, I wanted to, like, I'm doing dentistry. Okay. And it was really a big relief. Like when I got the call from Ohio State, I said, Alhamdulillah, I got accepted.
Yeah.
I live 10 minutes away from there.
Yeah.
So my mom also, she sacrificed a lot. She was educated, but when she came here, there were 9 of us, so she couldn't go back to school. She was taking care of us. So I was just, it was really a relief, to tell her, all that hard work, all that sacrifice you made. Your son got into dental school.
At Ohio State, the Ohio State University. It's good. I'm glad it worked out. So your journey, you come across like in a different background people and different interest in. As a young Somali growing up here, like what are the challenges of like communicating? People that are like that you were not used to, in a sense of like when you get to college, you come across pretty much the rest of the world, right? Yeah. So talk about that a little bit of what is the most challenging and and the experience that you had, good or bad.
Yeah. So I said I went to mostly a Somali school, but beforehand I went to a public school. It was North London. Is like a public school. Language barrier was really one difficult thing. So when I went there, I didn't know the language, and also I felt like I knew Somali, but my mom said I didn't. I don't know, so I just didn't I wasn't comprehending, because like in school they teach us English, at home we speak Somali, so I was getting confused, especially at that age when you're learning a lot of stuff. Yeah. The teacher, they wrote me IEP. I don't know.
IEP. Individual plan or something, like individual education plan, something like that.
I think they changed the name, but I think it's the same IEP. They recommended, they're like, your kid, he needs special education. We're gonna take him to a different class. He needs more focus. My mom, she's like, no, has to be just you know what I mean? So she was like, all right, I'm gonna just take you out of the school. I'm gonna take you to a school that's a lot of Somali people go, so they know exactly what you're going through, and to help you with that. So
did that help?
That helped a lot, yeah. Because and the thing is, my mom didn't even tell me I had a special education. Right. All that, she never told me until I went back to public school. They keep your record. So they had the record. I went in kindergarten. I said, I need special education. Then I disappeared. I went to another school. I came back like 10 years later to the same public school. They had my record. I remember like midway semester, they did an interview. Like a special education lady came. Yeah. She did an interview. She asked my teachers. They're like, wait, this kid is not special education. He gets A's in classes. You know what? He's getting good grades. I don't know what's the reason why. Yeah. After that, she told me. After that day, I was surprised. After that day, I was like, wait, like, why is this lady questioning me about like my education and stuff like that? I told my mom, she was like, oh, this is what she finally told me, like, oh, this is what happened. Because I think, like, if I knew, like, I need a special education or something,
Right.
I'll get limited mentally. I'm
Yes, yes,
slow, I'm
yes,
stupid, and I
yes,
wouldn't
yes,
try.
yes,
So,
yes,
yeah.
yes. I mean, and that's what parents do,
Exactly.
and to protect you, to shelter
Shelter,
you, and
exactly,
to
yeah.
prepare you. But when you go to college, you know, all that is lifted.
Exactly.
So you kind of have to, you know, basically, you know, figure out in a way that like what's good for you.
Exactly.
There's a lot of different crowds in college. Crowds like, you know, that experiment things, crowds that, you know, really don't follow education. So did you come across people that have different influential in you?
I mean, growing up, yeah, because most of the people I grew up with, they didn't really attend school,
Mhm.
so it was difficult, like balancing. All right, like I go to Ohio State, even though it's a difficult like school, a lot of curriculum, especially I had a science major, I wasn't like a business major or something, and hanging out with friends that like didn't go to college, so it was kind of difficult balancing time, and it felt like I was distancing myself away from them. But at the end of the day, like I got here because, you know, I had a dream, I had a passion, and I was like, I'm gonna put in hard work, no matter like you know, friends or whatnot.
Right.
But it is difficult. A lot of people, you notice that once they go to college, they have a lot more free time. They start hanging out with other friends, and then something happens, or
Right.
they're going down the wrong
Right.
road.
So at what point, I mean, and now you're in your way to do the dentistry in 2024, what made you pick specifically that?
The way I thought about it was 4 years, it flies by. I graduated 2019,
Mhm.
like 2 years ago.
Mhm.
So I knew I wanted to do something more than 4 years. So I was thinking, let me do medical. I looked at it, the hours you work, the amount of time you put in, it wasn't worth it. Then I was kind of confused with what major to do. I bounced around for a bit. Then one day, Dr. Sama, I don't know if you know him. He's also a dentist here. Yeah, he's a dentist here on Morris. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, if you're from Columbus, check him out. He's a
Yeah.
mashallah good dentist.
Definitely, I will.
That,
and what is his name? Warsame?
Warsame, Dr.
Okay.
Warsame, yeah.
Okay. What is the first name? Warsame's last name?
Mohammed Warsame.
Mohammed Warsame. And he's on a Morse road.
He's on Morris, right?
Okay.
He's a dentist. So that's when I think recently graduated too.
Okay.
As well. So he was working.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to him. Yeah, he had a place. He was working on my aunt. Then I talked to him for a bit. He told me about dentistry and stuff like that. Then, I was like, yo, if he could do it, that's
right. That's right.
Not like arrogance or nothing like that.
Right.
Because I never had a dentist that was Mado, let alone Somali. You know, so I was like, all right, if there's a Somali dentist, I could probably do it. I looked into it. Then I noticed our community, there's not really that much oral health education. And also, you work with the community. You know, 9 to 5, you're seeing, you know, 𝐷𝐾𝐒. So that's better than doing engineering where you're in an office or you're doing your own thing. And as a dentist, you work with the community, you help build
Right.
it. And so that was my big passion, on like helping out like kids that were in my situation. So dentistry, I went with it. And
Oh,
I
okay.
never looked
So
back.
he had a lot of influence in it.
Yeah, he had a good.
Based on
He sparked it. He sparked the interest.
Very cool.
He sparked the interest.
Yeah,
he sparked the interest.
We need to spark a lot of youngsters. We need to spark a lot of young mind, like very early stage too. So just to get onto the right track, and Columbus, now it's like you said, what 60,000, a little bit more than that,
Exactly.
and it's a large community, and a lot of kids can benefit that. So he sparked it. Eventually, you'll spark some youngster like you down the road, right? What are the procedures? So now you're taking the basic courses of dentistry, right? So like the first year. So like what do you what are the materials of that you're going to study?
Usually for dental school, they require a 4-year degree.
Okay.
So you take like organic chemistry, biology. It's a lot of courses that help for your science. But the thing about it is, once you get to dental school, you never look at those information again. They just want to see if you can study, if you can handle the toughness. So in dentistry, it's another 4 years. You come in, first year they teach you hand skills, because they teach you how to hold a drill, how to work on your posture when you're drilling, and also they educate you on like the anatomy of the tooth. Like you have enamel, if you brush too hard, this happens. They give you like basic education the first 2 years, and they have every like 2 weeks or so you take a course. They tell you, oh, here's a tooth, we need to put a crown on it. A crown meaning it's like you have a cavity, they drill it out, then you cover it to protect it. So they say, hey, here's a fake tooth, there's a cavity, take it out and cover it. So they test your hand skills if you pass or not. So the first 2 years, you're just taking tests, exams. Last 2 years, you're working with actual patients. You come to me, inshallah, if you want to.
Inshallah.
If you have an issue, then I take care of it, and the faculty looks over what I do. So for 2 years, that's what we do.
Oh, okay.
Then after that, you graduate, you could open your own place, you could go to a hospital, you could do whatever.
Knowing what you know now, and seeing the community, what they do, like what kind of advice do you give them?
Like the best advice for a youngster, honestly, is look out, try to shadow, find people that that it's something that you want to be in. You know,
Right.
first think about like what do you want to do? Do you want to go to engineering? Do you want to become a doctor? And look at the pros and cons. Don't just look at they make a lot. Like doctors make a lot of money, 200,000. You could make like crazy money. But I also know truck drivers that make that much. You know what I mean? So there's just things like 𝐷𝐵𝐷𝐿, and then at the end of the day, you just look at it's just a lifestyle. Is this something that you actually want to do? Then after that, look for people that are actually in the field. That's why now I made the YouTube channel. Anyone that has every like other day, I get contacted by someone in Seattle or Minnesota. Or as a high school, so I find your video. I'm thinking about dental hygiene or a dentist. That I give them advice. So you just look for someone that's in that actual major. Talk to them, reach out to them, and also most schools, if you're in high school, they do like a bridge program, which, for example, they kind of influence high schoolers. So if you're interested in engineering, you do a summer program that Ohio State holds, and for 6 weeks you work with like engineers, you shadow them and stuff like that. So look for programs like that. That's the best.
No, that's a good advice. What is the difference between the regular brush that we brush with and the rumi?
The rumia.
Yeah.
Okay, so rumi is the stick.
The stick that we brush with, like the traditional. But I was told it has a lot of iron in it.
It also has a lot of antibacterial substance in it. It's a natural 𝐂𝐍𝐉𝐎𝐘.
Yeah, it's a natural.
Really
Yeah, it's a.
So I was going to actually do a video
Okay.
for Ramadan because I know a lot of people use it.
Yeah.
So I have this thing. It's called a plaque indicator.
Okay.
So you chew on it. It shows all the bacteria in your tooth.
Okay.
Then I did a video of it with a toothbrush before, but this one I was going to compare a regular toothbrush and see how it works out. So I still didn't do the research. Okay. Inshallah, in 2 weeks I'm gonna do research. I'm gonna update you. But no, the rumi is natural antibiotic, so there's nothing wrong with it. Okay. But some people the thing they do is marmura adegwai. So they brush really hard. Right. So if you brush really hard, your gums they start to recede like the pink part. Okay. It recedes back and it creates a lot of sensitivity. So it's healthy for you, but it's good if you use it like really soft, like
Oh, okay.
So the good thing about a toothbrush is usually it's soft. When you use it, you don't really cause that much damage. Yeah. And it cleans it. At the end of the day, if you want to clean bacteria, it's not really about how much pressure you apply. It's just about the coverage. So even like the smallest amount of pressure you apply, it falls off bacteria. That's what a lot of people don't realize. Okay. So if the Ramadan is coming, so if you're out there and you're gonna end up using rumi, a lot of people do use rumi. And for those that who not sure what rumi is, it's a natural stick that we use back home to brush our teeth. Exactly. It's a regular tree you can find in any local Somali place. But first you chew on it to make it soft. You chew on it to make it softer. I think it activates the antibacterial antitoxins. There's a lot of good science behind it because sunnah. I hope that if it's not sunnah, it's good for you, you know. Right. But people go crazy with it because like at the end of the sifan, they don't chew it that well. It becomes thick. Yeah. And they brush really hard, and that causes a lot of damage. So I'm gonna see exactly if both of them could remove the same amount of bacteria. So you're gonna update later. I'm gonna update later. Yeah. So so you're gonna have a video on the YouTube that shows like the actual research. Exactly. Very cool, man. It's not the amount of the pressure you put on. It is the surface area. The surface area, yeah. And don't brush too hard because you might push your gums line below or above. So and it will have some sensitive areas in that. So that's good advice. A lot of people use charcoal with the rumi to have like white teeth. Yeah. What is that? Charcoal, well, I looked into it. They still can teach us this because we started like a year. Okay. But I looked into it personally. There's not really that much benefit with charcoal. It's just using a regular toothpaste, and charcoal is the same thing. There's really no benefit. The only reason why I think that people think it's a benefit is because everything is a business. You know, if you make like if you make a charcoal or a plant, you gotta sell to the people, oh, this is really beneficial for you. So there's really not that much data behind it supporting it, and also there's not data behind it that's against it. So at the end of the day, if you see a charcoal that's only like $10 and you see a regular toothpaste that's $5, the regular one does the same thing. So I need to look more into that, but I read a couple articles and there's not really that much research backing it up. It's just like a fast trend. That's what I call it. That comes up. Yeah, I mean, I myself used it when I was back home. You kind of and you take a piece of charcoal. Yeah. Maybe you put it behind. You wrap it up with a cloth and you just looking back, I don't think it made more wider than what it was. I don't know. I really wasn't paying attention to that. I haven't used that in long since I've been here. I don't think it makes it any more wider. There's other things they use that do like internal bleaching and stuff like that actually works. But there's also it causes sensitivity. There's some side effects. But I feel like that's, if you want like a real result, if you are really worried about your smile, I say the best thing is doing bleaching. Even though there's sensitivity to it, the results are there. But for charcoal, sometimes you won't see it, and there's not that much significant results.
We drink a lot of teas.
Yeah.
What kind of damage is that have on our teeth?
Tea, the thing is, if you're worried about whitening, it could stain it. So usually it's recommended to especially drink from a straw to help you out. And always afterwards, if you drink something like sugary or something like that, always just brush. Because the way it works, if there's someone that drinks, let's say 10 cups of Pepsi all in one sitting, and someone that drinks only one, but they break it out through the day, which one is more healthier, do you think? This is a
interesting.
question.
Interesting. I would say if you drink a small amount, but you drink it throughout the day.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So the way that cavities start is because your acidity, the acids in your mouth, if it's really low, it's really optimal. So that means the bacteria could grow faster. So if you drink like soda or tea, anything like that, it really lowers your pH, and it's really easier for the bacteria to attack your teeth. So the thing is, the best way to do it is, if you drink everything, just drink it all at once, brush your teeth, then let your body naturally pick up your pH, your acidity. But the thing is, if you break it out through the whole day, and if you drink a little bit, you never give your body enough time to recover.
Oh, so you're basically reactivating it.
You're reactivating, yeah. So it goes down.
Okay.
Your body and saliva, they bring it back up. So the pH can't grow, the bacteria cannot grow. But if you drink it, it goes down. It's coming back up. Then you drink it again, it goes down. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so the longer it stays down lower, that's the more likely you get.
So drink it one time, be done with it, and let your natural body do its natural thing.
Exactly.
That's interesting, huh? That's
so a lot of people don't notice. A lot of people are like, I'm gonna stay away from sugar. It's not about staying away from it. It's just about frequently snacking. That's one thing that really causes. So frequently drinking, frequently eating that's what causes it. If you eat it all at once, it's not healthy for you. But also from a dentist perspective, it doesn't cause that much damage to your teeth.
Interesting. Very interesting. The people that really don't have access to healthcare. I mean, in America, 99.99, we should be able to get like our teeth cleaned and all of that, right? But the people, let's just say like somebody doesn't have access to a dentist. What advice would you give them to kind of like, how do they maintain what's already broken in their teeth?
And they, if I say this, I'm not trying to say it against me, but I honestly believe, and besides if it's genetics, if you take good care of your health, like you brush twice a day, not even twice, like once a day, you floss. Anytime you eat something sweet, you rinse. You shouldn't be really needing that much dental work, But since Pepsi and Coca-Cola exist, dentists are always going to exist. But in my opinion, Amal, that's the best thing, Amal. If you don't have really access to healthcare, and you can't go to a dentist, the best thing is just take care of yourself, brush twice a day, floss, and you shouldn't really need major updates unless something traumatic happens. For example, you're eating on a